Good evening and welcome to Speaker Club Saturday night number 86. Today is a very special session because I'm not the one who's going to host the session for today. Today we have a special guest who has taken the lead to be the host for the topic that we have chosen for today. Today's topic is life management by time management. And the speaker that we have, the host person who's going to be the trainer for today is Bikash Mitra. And let me just introduce him so that you get a better picture of who is talking to you. And with his introduction, I must say I am impressed, and I'm sure I'm wondering about the content that we are going to have on today's session and the different perspective that we are going to have. So Bikash has a 15 years experience in IT industry. He currently works as a software development associate director in NTT Data, Bangalore. He's originally from Bhubaneswar, Odisha. His passion is to go deep in spiritual dimension of life and uncover the hidden mysteries. Alongside, he loves to attend self-development sessions, and that's how we have already seen him. A large part of he attending our workshop, our speaker club sessions, and adding his flavor over here. He likes to guide and coach people with whatever he learns and experiences from his life's challenges. Looking forward to the interesting perspective that we have from today's session from Bikash. Over to you, Bikash.
Thank you, Rahul, for the nice introduction. So I hope I am audible. Fine. Okay, great. So let's start. I hope everyone has a pen and paper with them. Can we have a quick check? If not, then just fiddle around and get a pen and paper ready, because we'll be doing a little bit of brainstorming, and that is really required. Pen and paper. And I encourage everyone to switch on their videos. Yeah, I thank you, Rahul, for that. And I encourage to participate as much as possible. This session is your session. Basically, I'm not going to present much. I don't have much content, so just to give a background, like I had office also today. So, but however, as I have committed, I have prepared something, but let's make it very informal. We will discuss and we'll find out some solution around the problems that we are facing. So that's the idea. So you all can unmute also, keep it unmuted, and participate as much as possible. Feel free to interrupt whenever and wherever you want. Okay, so let's start. So the first question that I have for all of you is, I think we already had such kind of session wherein we introspected or kind of recollected what kind of newer resolution that we had devised for this year. So I would again praise everyone just to think for a second. Maybe you can and write down what all new resolution you have thought in maybe in a crisp manner for this year. So just note it down. And once you all are ready, just ping or just call it out and we will proceed further. Okay, live for a day. Sounds great.
Rabia philosophy नहीं चाहिए, content लाओ.
That part is yours.
So you must have thought of something, right? As new resolution. Okay, let me make it little different. If you have some goals in your life, you can write them also. That will be more appropriate, in fact, because this is very near to near. That is why I thought, let me ask about New Year resolution. They are kind of encapsulates part of our goal, but however, you may write down the goals that you have in your life, maybe 2 or 3 at least, and I would like someone, at least 3 to 4 participants share their goals as they're ready. So whoever is ready can share their resolution or goals, unmute themselves and share it. So currently we are not going who have achieved or not achieved. Let's just hear it out. What kind of goals that we set generally, and no need to emphasize like what is the importance of goal setting. So by the time you all are busy writing, let me briefly tell that if we do not have a goal set in our life, then we are actually leading a life without a compass. So we don't have the clarity of what we want, what is the purpose of our life, and definitely if we do not have that set, then we are not going to hit that. We are just flowing with the flow with the expectations of some like assumption that okay, I want to lead my life happily. That might be one mere wish, that cannot be a goal. So if we have a defined goal, then that adds a lot more value. It provides the clarity in which direction we should be moving and where actually we should not be moving. So every time we deviate our direction, the goal is going to take us again, realign us, and make us move in the right direction. So it is really important. And in the interest of time, I'm not sharing a story, but there is a very nice story, not story, actually real incident, wherein actually I don't remember the name of that swimmer, who I'll tell in short. In the first attempt, she was trying to cross the English Channel, and she was attempting, she was doing really good, and she was about she was not sure how much of distance she has covered, and in between she noticed that she is getting really restless, and she could not see actually what is ahead of her, and it was all foggy, misty day, and she thought that no, I really can't do any further. So what happened? She just surrendered, and the nearby boat, where the rescue boat has taken her up. What she discovered, the goal where she wanted to reach is very near, hardly half a kilometer away, and if she would have known it, she could have definitely give it a try and make it up. But just because the goal was not evident, it was not clearly visible, she just gave up. So it is really important. So the next time what happened actually, the weather was clear and she could make it up. The major differentiator here is not the capability or the energy level or whatsoever. It is just that the goal was visible the next time, and she was the same person with same determination, and she could do it. So we must have a goal, that is for sure. So with this, I want to hear at least from few of us, what are the goals that we have noted down by now. We'll go first. Okay,
Madhu,
yeah.
your voice is not audible.
No, Rahul. Okay.
Yeah, Madhu sir, boliye.
Yeah. So you want me to tell what is my goal or what exactly?
Yeah. Few goals, 1 or 2 or 3, how many ever you wrote, please share with us if it is not very comprehensive.
Okay, but my way, what I written as maybe in the first week of January, like I had categorized as 3 sections. One is personal goal, another is career goal, and another is like health goal. I divided like that, and I have written, it come to my mind like whatever I come, I written at least 3 to 5. After returning that, I have seen, I have chosen one out of that, the best one from each category, because I must do that. Because if I do that, all other things will happen. So such a way I written my career goal, and as well as my health, dieting, whatever I wanted to follow the health, food, all those things, and for personal, relationship or all those things. Like that, I have divided. Such a way, 3 categories I divided. Just every day trying to put at least one baby step towards that. End of the day, I feel like, at least out of these 3, at least, small step I have done or not. That's I'm following as of now. Thank you.
Very nicely written and planned actually. So can we have anyone else
Hi.
who would like to share their views?
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Rajesh.
And before that, 1 second, my voice is it my voice is breaking in between?
No,
Then I
it's
can
clear.
change my
No,
connection.
it's clear. It's clear. It's clear.
Clear.
Clear now. It's clear now. In between, there was a little bit of a
Okay,
challenge.
Hi.
Is it so? So while Rajesh is sharing his goals, then let me change my connection. Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Rajesh, you can continue.
Yeah. Actually, last year it's very bad for me because due to COVID I lost my job, and also I fell sick, and I had 4 major surgeries, and nearly I took a 6 months bed rest. So I have due to that I have so much due is there. So in this year I put a target to clear all my dues in this year. At the same time, I have to reduce my weight. And one more thing is I put a goal from Tirupati to Shirdi. I have to go on bicycle ride for a social cause. So these 3 things I put majorly. I have to achieve this in this year.
Interesting, Rajesh. Shreya, you want to go next?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
No resolution was my resolution this year because last year I couldn't fulfill them by staying at home. I didn't want to feel bad this time. But surely I have goals for this year and many years also. Like I wanted to learn different styles of dance, like choose right path for my life and my future, and try to be a better person next year. And also lose my weight.
Because you're there. Vijay, go ahead.
That this will be the last one. Vijay, please make it.
So it's not a resolution for me. It's a compulsion for me to have good health, because whenever I am having my allergies, no, so it's like a life threatening. So my main priority for this year is my health only, and I should say that everyone should have that priority first, because
Yeah.
if life is there, so everything is there.
Yeah. So very nice. It's really nice to hear the goals that you all have set. I really appreciate at least we have some direction so that we can proceed towards that. But one thing, please try to notice the goal need to be a smart goal. If it is not a smart goal, then very likely we might not really progress towards it, or we might not really get to we might not achieve it. So what is a smart goal? I am sure definitely there are many people who knows about it. Who is going to share what is a smart goal?
I think it should be realistic.
So start from SMART.
Specific, measurable, achievable, and time.
Timer. Okay. Yeah. So specific. So the goal need to be very specific. If you want better health, then it is not very specific what you want to achieve. So we have to have a specific. Suppose you want to reduce your weight or increase your weight by 10 kilo or 5 kilo. You need to make it really specific so that you can really see you can plan, you can have some strategy, some action plan around it, and keep seeing whether you are really moving towards it. So it has to be really specific. That is the first thing. Then M for measurable. Now, the example that we have taken is like reducing, say, 10 kilo. So if we have like we have 10 kilo or something, then we can really measure over a time. Suppose in a week's time, I want to see 0.5 kg reduction. The next, the strategy says that next 1 month, I want to reduce this many kilos. So it is all based on your capacity and energy level. So that's perfectly fine. But however, we have to have that plan, and we should periodically measure it whether I am going in the right direction or not, whether I am really moving or not. Then comes SMA, achievable. So just now what I said is like it should be achievable. We should not have some unrealistic goal or non-achievable goal which is very tough. Then realistic, and then T for time bound. Time bound is very important. I think none of us have said by what time I want to achieve this goal that I have already said. This is the main factor in the SMART. So we have to have a very specific time that we need to attach to our goals and measure it periodically whether I'm moving in the right direction or in the opposite direction. So let's come to the next section. Now we know what is the goal that we have to, what kind of goals that we have to devise. Second thing, now the goals are all ready. Suppose we have thought through very nicely and we have the goals ready. But how do we know whether the goals are realistic, meaningful, and applicable to my life or not? So what Madhuji has initially said, right? Similarly, we have to think whether the goals that I have is from the different directions, is catering to all the direction or dimensions of my life. That is really important. If so, there is a concept called wheel of life. So what it says, like it focuses all the dimensions of our life, and we need to introspect whether our goals are, each of our goals are equally balanced. Let me present the one slide I have. So you can see, right, this is called wheel of life. So what it's done, we have different dimensions noted here. So there are 8 quadrants. Actually, it is equally divided into 8 parts and starts with career, finance, health, family and friend, romance, growth, fun and recreation, physical environment. So this is very, to a very granular, or I would say detail level, it is kind of encapsulating all the goals. If you want to like for some people, maybe the career is kind of if someone is kind of in a very initial stage of study, say 4th or 5th or so, they can eliminate this career thing or finance thing. So do the kind of mix and match that you want to do, but not less than 4. Some people have some spiritual goals, so that also can be kept. So after doing this distribution, what we need to do, we need to divide each quadrant into 10 parts. Okay, and we have to assess, suppose in the career, let's say that someone is very kind of in a mature state wherein he could think of all the parts of their life, of his or her life, and try to judge where am I really currently. So what he or she needs to do, first introspect current level. So suppose one person is rating 8 or 9 in her career. Okay, or if anyone wants to volunteer, let me know, so that we can have a very realistic assessment, and we will get to know what kind of stage you are in and where we want to or should be going. Anyone interested?
Yes.
Chetan, a little louder.
Yes. Yes. Hello.
Okay. So,
Hello.
so how do you rate yourself in career out of 10?
5.
5. Okay.
5.
And finance? Financial
Finance.
stability?
7.
Okay. And health?
5.
5, right? Okay. So it is like, it starts with 5, then it is 7, then again 5, then family and friends. How good you are with your family?
10
How
on
connected
10.
you are with your family and friends?
Family 10 on 10.
10 on 10. Okay, great.
Family.
Okay. And how about your the romance part?
7.
7. Oh, great. Okay. And personal growth?
Personal growth.
How much
Yes.
time you spend for your personal growth, and what is the importance of personal growth in your life? What plans that you have?
7.
7. Okay,
I get
good.
up.
Okay. So do you have space for fun and creation, or because I see that you have already given very good ratings for other space?
No fun and recreation. I give priorities to my career and personal development.
So how do you rate in this space, fun and recreation?
Sometime 2 or 3.
2 or 3. And
Forced by family.
Okay. Okay.
But
and
but if music is a part of fun and recreation, then yes, then I love music. I love music.
Yeah.
Yes,
Fair
yes,
enough.
yes. I
That
thought
is-
fun
that
and
is also part
recreation
of
means
recreation.
go outside and party. No, that kind
No,
of
no,
fun
no.
and recreation. Yes.
For each individual, it can be different.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
someone is really
Yes.
wants to pursue their hobby, then why not? That's even better recreational activity, and I would say that you are actually doing
Yes.
good there.
Yes,
Instead of
music.
partying or boozing or wasting time, you are actually recreating.
Soulful,
then-
lyrical music. Yes.
So what I want to say in short, when you say 5, then 7, then 5, and it goes like in a Hayward manner. So if you plot a graph, you will not. Yeah. So here is one example. So here you see, so someone has rated somewhere around 7 or 8 and 5, and if you plot it, right, if you join all the dots, you might not get a perfect shape of a wheel. Whereas this says actually we need to plan, or we should be in a position where we should be giving equal attention to each area of our life. And if we see any lacking, so suppose here we see a lack of rating or less of rating in the recreation part. So intentionally, this person whoever has kind of plotted this taken this self-assessment should focus, or intentionally he should create some more attention so that this rating comes up. And the intention should be in such a way we should so suppose after 1 month's time, what is my target? So suppose the rating here is kind of 4 currently in recreation part, and I want to have every dimension at 7. Then in 1 month's time, what is my goal? And to achieve that goal in recreation part, what kind of plans or strategy I should have, what kind of milestone I can set for my, and how can I proceed towards that? So that should be our approach. Is it clear? All good? Okay. So now we understood how our goals should be and how we should be balancing our goals in such a way that we should be giving equal attention to each of the dimension of our life. Now let's see, even this much is fine. Still, we might not be able
Because Preeti has raised a hand, and if the screen sharing is done, if you can stop it, if you don't have anything else on the screen share.
Yeah, we have something. Okay,
Okay,
I
no
will
issues.
stop it for now.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Preeti, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Prakash. Sorry, just a small question and a comment, I guess. So one is, of course, I think it's very hard to give importance and priority to all of these dimensions. When we say, these 10s, are they our version of 10, or is it like a, business career success could mean different things to different people, right? So is it like a based on some sort of objectives thing that where people should be sort of, or is it just what our version is?
So this is a plain simple diagram, and this one where actually you see some ratings already mentioned, that is our version.
Yeah, this self-assessment, I agree. I'm saying, the final goals, that 10 or whatever.
The final goal,
like
again,
let's say health, somebody should be at the top of health. What does 10 mean? Like a person actually may be having health condition, but may not really care that, or whatever. He may just be living with those conditions and may not care. So he might be closer to his 10. So what I'm trying to ask is it are those 10s subjective, or are they like some gold standard that you should try to achieve sort of, and then compared to those gold standard, where are you assessing yourself?
So I will share the understanding that I have. Even I have also limited understanding, and I'm still researching more. So as of now, what I understand is like the rating that you give is your personal own rating, and what is your objective, it should be personal to you. Now suppose you know that by walking 2 hours per day and having this weight and having this kind of no lifestyle disease, this is my definition of rating 10 in health space, then that's enough. And someone else might have some different kind of agenda, so suppose 2 hours gym or some different kind of agenda, and for that person it may be 10 once that particular goal is achieved. So it is kind of subjective. Again, it varies from person to person, and what you set as an objective, you set and you make sure that you are giving equal time and energy and attention. The purpose of this particular exercise is kind of not individual, not only individual dimension of life, but to see that you are giving equal attention and focus to each of the dimensions, so that in no way you are kind of neglecting one area of life, and later on it can backfire.
Because,
so that is my understanding. And
because may I respond to that? I would just like to add again here,
yes.
Preeti, this assessment which we are talking of in terms of setting your goals is very personal in nature. Like you mentioned, if someone is having a habit, or someone has a base case challenge with regard to health, but if he sees himself at 8, then that is his rating. Because frankly, you can't be having a rating based on someone else and have your goal. From what I see is, when you use this metric of a balance for your own goals, that is where you get your drive to focus on what you want right now. It could backfire. I'm not saying there's right or wrong goal, but with regard to the process of goal setting and what you need to work on for your own judgment. I could, if someone else tells that I'm at a 2, and still if I don't feel it is a 2, then it can be that I might try to push for it, but if I don't have the drive, I won't achieve it. So in that sense, what is your feel for it? We are not judging the right or the wrongness of your personal assessment. Because if you feel that you are at a 10, then right now you might not face the heat of it. Eventually 2 years, 3 years down the lane, when you feel it is a 2, then you'll put a goal of having that balance right again. So based on your question, I feel it's all about your assessment for now. And based on that assessment, your goal, drive, focus will be based on that. That is what I feel. I hope that answers you, Preeti. Over to you, Bikash.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And over a period of time, we can also think like, suppose we have a smaller concentric circle, like we are giving a rating of 2 or 3 in each of the space. Then over a period of time, we can think of growing that circle also, so that we give equal attention to each of the dimension, as well as we are kind of improving in every dimension and how to do it. So we all have kind of 24 hours with us. So now, if each of the area or dimension of life needing attention, special attention from us, sometimes we feel that it is really overwhelming, and we might not feel like really we will be able to give proper time to each area. So I would like to ask each of you what kind of strategy that you try to embrace to see that, okay, I'm doing the right justice and I'm able to focus on each area of on each dimension of my life. So what kind of strategy currently you are having? Just think for a minute and share. Maybe two to three of you can share. First of all, we all are agreeing, right? We all have 24 hours of time, and we have very limited capacity to limited time, wherein actually we need to do a lot of things, right? So we always feel the crunch of time, isn't it? So what kind of strategy that we cling to deal this kind of situation? Anyone wants to share their personal view?
Yeah, hello. So I think we have to be in the present moment of what we do. Like we usually, when I study, I think about going out, or when I go out, I'll be thinking about, oh, I have this to study. So I think we don't do the things with mindfulness. When we enjoy, like we have to just enjoy. Like we have to not carry our work or like we have not think about what to do tomorrow or what
Yeah,
work.
so yeah, understood. Sakti, we understood your point. So in short, you are saying that you are kind of running ahead or running to the past or future, and that's how actually your time is getting wasted and you're not able to focus. And once you will be able to focus, you think that, okay, I can finish the things faster and better attend to each of the, yeah, fair enough. Understood. And how about Chetan, sir?
Currently, I think I'm using my time to the fullest. I think if you waste your time, wastage of time is a crime. And nowadays, I am able to use my time to the fullest. It's morning around 4:30 to evening 10:30, 11 o'clock. So everything relating my career, personal development, everything.
Good.
So
So how do you
on
plan?
time.
How do you plan? Are you doing some planning or kind of prioritization technique or anything any technique you use to plan your day?
Nowadays, first of all, to get up early. When you are motivated, you don't need alarm. Basically, you don't need alarm if you are motivated. Your body alarm wakes you up. Okay. And then you can work on your priorities, like few motivational videos, audio video, then music, good music, listening good music, and exercise, a bit of exercise. Then as a teacher, I don't get time during daytime for worksheets or checking the papers, these things. So even I'm able to manage now on 31st December or 1st Jan, when I prepared my resolution, my one point was that I want to work on time. I want to get up early and sleep early. I used to sleep late. I used to wake up late. This was my resolution on 1st Jan. No, I have achieved it. I have achieved it. I am habitual now. Also, few other resolutions were there, that lesson Facebook and YouTube. I haven't listened YouTube, but I have changed the channels which I was watching earlier, maybe related to political or something else, which we discussed during previous session. And I have changed it to motivational or this kind of, or related with stock market, this kind of videos. Yes.
Very good. So thank you for sharing, Chetan sir. Yeah, you want to share something, Rahulji?
Yeah, let me confess over here. I don't have a conscious attempt to balancing this circle over here and the time that the way I'm giving it. But what I've always felt is that over a period of time, you can talk of individualistic, it's individualistic of how long you are taking to rebalance this. I take something like 3 to 4 month period to reassess which pillars of my life haven't got the right attention. And I am not sure it comes naturally to me. But I'm not thinking about something. But as soon as there's a certain time period which passes off without one pillar getting too much of attention, there's a kind of an alarm which rings within. It's been a long time you have had a holiday. It's been a long time you have seen a Netflix web series maybe, or it's been a long time you have focused on your health. So there's a kind of alarm system which I think each one of us naturally have. It's just that we don't observe that. And I'm not sure how concretely and subjectively we can actually plan our entire life based on all these pillars. I feel over a period of time, all these things balance out. You just have to make sure you are aware or you're conscious about the alarms which are ringing within, which pillar of these 8 ones are ringing, and you have to take care of, and you have to act on that at that point in time at least. That is what I think.
Right. So nicely so what I understood is, like, if we have a very good awareness, right? Suppose we are aware what we are doing and we are aware what we are not doing, to which area we are not focusing, consciously we are doing everything, then we might not very be very kind of giving in paper attention for balancing out this wheel of life. I agree to it. However, one thing is really required: how to increase or enhance our awareness. This is something which is really required, and very few people really know how to increase our awareness level. Even for the sake focus level, everything is related. So if we know some tools or techniques or strategy by which we can increase our awareness, how we are spending our day, how we are spending our life, how we are spending our week, and for that said month, year and year. Yeah, let's proceed. So quickly I will show you some techniques which I feel is really tell you. So the first technique, I think most of us have kind of familiar with this distribution of agent. So if you have read the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective Stephen Covey, he nice describe this particular distribution of thing. So every day we are doing the activities. All of them can be categorized among these 4 buckets. So what are these? Let's see what are these. One is the suppose some. Okay, is it clear? Is it visible? My screen is visible?
Yes, Vikas.
Okay, so you see the first quadrant. If some tasks which are really important and urgent, then that comes here. If it is important but not urgent, here, second quadrant. Third quadrant, not important and urgent, and fourth, not important and not urgent. So you think of any task and we can really categorize them between these 4 quadrants. I'll quickly explain briefly about what the task which quadrant they goes to, and then you can also say few of you can share some task and we'll try to place it in the proper quadrant. So if you see in the first quadrant, urgent and important, few of the examples which are mentioned here, like urgent customer request or quality issue or deadline driven project, it is all related to a project, to your life. If some calls are there, it's like kind of phone call is coming from your boss or from your spouse or from your parents, and you need to attend, then it is coming and falling in this category, urgent and important, and you do not have opportunity to delay. You have to do it now. So take action. And if you have seen some tasks like relationship building, new opportunity, strategic thinking, improving systems, exercising, meditation, do anything, you take any good thing which is really required for everyone to grow, falls in this quadrant, important and urgent. This quadrant is something which each one of us think how we should grow. So that is coming under plan. Here we need to do a very good planning, and we should make sure that the items that those are part of this quadrant should not be ignored. But just if you introspect in your life, most of the people, I'm not saying all, but most of the people definitely ignore this quadrant. The items, those are present in this quadrant, generally gets ignored. And if the items those are present in this quadrant are getting ignored, then automatically that comes to the crisis part, that is urgent and important. That means whichever are kind of need to be addressed immediately. So our goal should be to grow in the dimensions second quadrant task in such a way that the task those are falling in the urgent and important quadrant will be reduced day by day. Okay, and coming to third quadrant, so suppose you have some plumbing work to be done, or something some kind of distractions are there, or some anything which you feel that which is urgent but not important, not worth of your value, then those things you can delegate. Cleaning of utensils, you know that you can get it done through a maid. So why to do by yourself? We will come to it when we will be deriving a very good matrix today, where to understand what is the worth, what is the real worth of our time. And the fourth is very obvious, eliminate. Means anything which we are doing which is not urgent in nature and not important in nature, we will definitely eliminate it. Like kind of Netflix, Instagram, or social media, or all this kind of thing. Now, there is a question you might be having. If we are really going to follow this model, then are we not human being? We are human being, right? So if we eliminate all those social activities and only focus on the productivity part, then we might again ignore in the wheel of life. In the previous slide we have seen, right, here we have a value, we have a place for everything. Okay, so we need to dig little deeper in this model. It is good, it is a very good model, but it has something missing. So let's try to understand what is missing. So now there is a third dimension considered here. So what is that dimension? Time taking. Now we need to understand, or we need to assess how much is the real time taken for the activity. If we understand that the activity which I am going to do is of a nature which won't take much of time, then it is good to do at certain point of time, and so that I do not ignore that particular portion or a dimension of my life. Suppose I want to just I've kind of done a 3 Pomodoro sessions, or kind of I really worked with a very focused mind. Now I want to connect with my friends or family, or so such kind of things I can assess and make sure that it won't take much of your time. So if we have this third dimension into picture, then we will have the distribution something like this: urgent, important, and lots of time taken. Quickly, let's go run through this grid. So if something is not urgent, not important, and not taking much of time, any example can anyone give? Suppose you want to do a quick check of your emails or your WhatsApp, if there are some message for me. So it comes under this category. No. But because the time taken here is not much, let me not ignore, let me do it. But however, within the limit. Similarly, if coming to the second part, if something is not urgent, not important, but it takes lot of time. Any example you can think of? Suppose I will quickly, in the interest of time, let me give one example. Many of us actually are doing this kind of binge watching of web series. So what actually happens there? A lot of time is spent on something which is not urgent and not important as well. So these are the tasks which are really kind of cranking my energy, and I need to really place this kind of activity if I have very good luxury of time or kind of a reward mechanism after achieving a real big goal. So this kind of strategy, these are the things, this grid is actually going to give you some pointers to make some strategy how you want to utilize your time in a way that the each of the area of the life is kind of getting addressed, but in the right time, not at the cost of some important things. That is the thing that this grid is going to help you. So in the interest of time, I'm not going to each of the things because I want to show one very good Excel sheet. There are two Excel sheets that I am going to present now. Now, coming to this Excel sheet. So what it says actually? This says about opportunity cost. What is opportunity cost? Can anyone tell?
So opportunity cost, as far as I understand, is basically if you're doing something, what are you losing out on? What could you be doing that is maybe more valuable in that time?
Yes.
So that will probably be the opportunity that you're losing out.
Yeah.
And the cost of that.
Correct. So in simple words, if we say like, if I want to do one activity at the cost of another activity, then kind of I'm saying yes to one thing and no to another thing, right? So there actually this term fits. So if let's take a realistic value. Suppose I do not want to ask anyone to give a figure, but however, let's take, suppose one person is having 50,000 as the monthly salary. Okay, some average I am taking, and we think that our time value of money, we actually do not really think in that term. Now, if we do not think in this term, then what happens? So before coming to this slide, actually, let me first tell one example. So I'm pausing my share. So suppose I have the wish to buy a phone, or I want to buy something which has some value of say 30,000 rupees in Amazon, and I feel like if it is 30,000 in Amazon, then why not check? Okay, I like this phone, but however, I want to check in other sites. Generally, we all have this kind of tendency, right? So I go and check in other sites also what is that price, and I happen to see that in Chroma this same phone is available for 1,000 rupees less, and in Amazon actually I need to wait for a day, but in Chroma I can just directly visit the Chroma store and I can get the phone on the same day, and I can get kind of start using. So I feel excited. Okay, I will save my 1,000 rupees as well as I will get the instant pleasure. During this thing, this activity, what happens actually? I went there and I picked and I come back. During this kind of all the hassle and bustle and the commute time, I spent around 4 hours or say 6 hours if it is really a crowded place like Bangalore. So if I do not really understand what is the time value of my money, then for that 6 hour I might not feel guilty. I will say, okay, anyway, I saved 1,000 rupees. But if I am really conscious, then I will understand. I will put this Excel sheet into picture, and this actually gives me the awareness that what is the real time value of my money. Suppose someone is earning 50,000 rupees or kind of 80,000 rupees a month. Because 30,000 phone, if someone is buying, then let's consider that he is earning 80,000 rupees per month, and the number of work hours per day is kind of 8 hours or 9 hours. Nowadays, IT companies have kind of increased to 9 hours.
Yeah, please keep it 9. We don't accept it.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
that I agree. However, the companies, the UK companies and all those companies, they are still 8 hours, but our companies are kind of changed it to 9 hours. So let's take it 9 hours, and for calculation sake, I'm taking the maximum number of working days, kind of 22. Sometimes it becomes 21 and 20 also, if there are a lot of holidays. So here the calculation says that your per hour cost is 404 rupees. Now I spent 6 hours in commutation, then going, doing invoicing, standing in the queue in Chroma, and I have, what is the actual cost that I have spent? 404 into 6 hours. That means more than 2,400, right? But what actually I save only 999 rupees. That's all, or 1,000 rupees. So the difference here is too high. But if we do not really calibrate or understand this proposition, then we tend to only think about the money which we see. What we do not see is the real value that I'm losing. So I kind of appraise everyone to understand their own, what is the per hour cost that they are really having. Now you can have a question that, okay, this per hour cost is only the cost that I have calculated, which my company is giving to me, and I cannot actually really work 24 hours per day. So for that, in that leisure time only, I kind of I have spent those leisure time to go and bring collect the item or kind of do anything else. I would still say, if we need to introspect and understand whether that leisure time that we have, what is the best use of that leisure time. Can I do some recreational activity instead of struggling in the traffic and standing in the queue and all those things? Is it really worth? No. And I should be doing some activity wherein my aim should be to increase the per hour cost. So how can I increase this cost, per hour cost? If I increase my skill level, current skill level, suppose X, and if I keep on adding X plus 1%, X plus 1% in a compounding manner, then I would be reaching to some other level in a month's time, in a 6 months time, in a year's time, and definitely this salary will also increase as a result of that. So I should be thinking in that term, and I should be thinking that my time is also very important for my family. So if I am giving my time to my family, or for some kind of skill building or recreational thing, by doing recreational activity, what I'm achieving, I am conserving, I'm kind of giving my energy and another boost so that I can do more work in less time, become more productive and focused. So these are the things which we need to understand, so that we think in the real, what is the actual money that we are saving or spending. And suppose someone is kind of this is very interesting thing. Suppose someone is having a habit of seeing TV or serial for 2 hours. Okay, so what is actually meaning that with this calculation, that monthly spending is going to 24,242 rupees. So isn't it a eye-opener fact? How many of you think that it's really eye-opening? Nobody actually think in that terms. We think that, okay, Netflix, we are only paying for 500 rupees, that's all per month, or 400 whatsoever. But in Netflix, if we are spending 2 hours per day, we are actually spending 24,200 to 242 rupees for this Netflix. So think what is coming to us, what is the real cost of Netflix, or for that sake, anything which we are kind of spending our time. So I'm not saying to make it zero, but once we understand the real value, what actually we are spending, in what way we are spending, then the consciousness, the awareness, that bulb glows. Okay, let me not see for 2 hours. Let me reduce it 1 to 1 hour, or let me see in YouTube. Can I replace it to another habit, just like Chetan sir has mentioned, right? Something productive. I will watch, but I will not watch something which is just like a web series kind of thing. I will watch something productive, and it will add to my skill level, as I will get entertained also. So that is
Because we have Akanksha's hand raised, and Vijaya has asked a question in the chat, and it's 10:05, so we can just focus on these.
Yeah, please.
So you can stop the screen share now.
I have another Excel sheet quickly in 2-3 minutes. I want to show that is very important.
Okay, sure. Go ahead then. Go ahead. After that, we can just open for questions then.
Okay. So let's come to an Excel sheet. This is the real Excel sheet, which actually gives us the awareness. So unless until I know where I am spending my time and which kind of task I am spending my time, and what productivity or mindfully I am doing the time, I won't be able to calibrate anything which is measured in a better way. Can be calibrated, can be enhanced. So this tracker, this is a simple tracker where everyone can kind of start using this, wherein actually this is a holistic tracker. It starts with here. You start your day. Maybe for every week we have this particular distribution, and for every day this distribution is made, and all the activities, the major activities that we generally do is also listed here. Okay, so suppose Pomodoro, I think everyone knows about the Pomodoro. Then we do office work, daily course. Daily course, actually we kind of commute, we kind of do kind of eating, sleeping, all these things. Then we do medicine, we do some reading, yoga, exercise, or classes or trainings. We do eating, if we are doing without gadget mindfully, let's take that also count. Then cooking for housewife, this is also required. WhatsApp, we spend a lot of time. We do not know how much time we spend. So all these things once captured here, and here I have a drop down. So every half an hour I do, after completing that particular half an hour, I come here and I suppose this one, suppose what we did is interactive, some interactive sessions. So here in the subtask I will write living life session. Okay, this is optional field. If we have time or we want a better clarity, then I will write this. And what is the urgency? This is the planned event. Every Saturday I attend to it. So this is not urgent for me. However, it is really important. So this activity I categorize. And similarly, I go on categorizing. I go on describing as I do. And every time I do this activity, right, distribution, I get a percentage. Okay. So some percentage comes, and we have already seen where actually we need to eliminate, which quadrant need to be increased, the task under which quadrant need to be increased. So every time, suppose I do not have any other task, okay, so I do not have any other task, this is some sample task, I have kept only one, then it says that 100% I have spent in the perfect quadrant, that is, which is like kind of not urgent but important. if I have kind of another task which is kind of no and no, then it says that 50% time I have spent in the right button and 50% I have spent where actually I need to eliminate those kind of tasks. So this is kind of bulb जल जाएगा कि अरे मैं गलत डायरेक्शन में जा रहा हूँ. Let me try to recalibrate and come. The next activity should be planned in such a way that I do it right way. Okay, and many a times we tend to think like whenever at the end of the day, if we ask yourself how many of we actually know that what thing really I have done, we don't know. If we have this tracker, then we know what exactly we have done and where we need to change the next day so that we can do a proper distribution of tasks so that each dimension is kind of properly addressed. That also this gives the provision. And here in the efficiency level, suppose I know this coaching session, suppose some people have a habit of doing something else while doing two things at a time. They attend the session and also they will check their phones or something. So in that case, if you are doing that, then mention 50% or 55% efficiency you are doing. Okay, not 100% efficiency. But in the next activity, you are aware. Okay, I did a wrong thing. Now I am fully aware. I did only one thing at a time. So based on your satisfaction level, you give what is the percentage that you get to this quadrant. Okay, so I have kind of okay. So what happened here? It kind of for the day, as you fill, it will kind of figure out what is the efficiency that end of the day I have kind of operated. It will find out. So it is nothing but the average of the all tasks that I have done. Okay, and at the end of the day, before going to sleep, these four or five things need to be addressed. First, we need to ask to ourselves whether do I feel really happy with how the day went? Yes or no? First thing we need to ask. Okay, if it is yes, then why? So in this quadrant, in this space, I need to write what things I have really achieved. And here I need to write what things I have done wrong, but next day I will do right, improvement areas. So achievement could be kind of almost with full focus I have done, yoga, meditation, everything kind of whatever I have done good. What I have done more, like social media time, I thought of spending in 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but I end up spending 2 hours. That I'll note it down here. Once, and where from I get this idea? So I will go back to the distribution, what log I have. And from there, it will be very clearly evident where I spent how much time. Okay. And at the end, I have to, this introspection will give me an kind of overview or idea how I should be navigating the next day, how I should be planning, and then gratitude. Gratitude is also very important thing in our life. If we do not have a gratitude quotient in our life, then we are not growing actually. So every day, write down what is the gratitude, for what reason we are grateful, for whomever maybe. Okay, and one main thing I forgot to tell, and this day's productivity also kind of indicator here to showcase that how you have done a really good thing or not. Another thing, most of us have a tendency to overthink. Due to shortage of time, I will not cover this one. This is traffic and a very good technique tool is there where actually we can eliminate that overthinking habit. And most important thing, we have to write our goal every day morning, first thing in the day, and 3 top priority works. Top 3 priority work we have to list down here and put in the slot that we really want to put. And it may happen that we might not meet the same slot for that particular task, but we have the idea that these 3 tasks anyway I am going to do no matter what. So these things, as a period of time when we do this thing again and again, right, the goal is kind of getting crystallized in our mind, and automatically we are getting driven. And if this distribution says that is the task that we do daily is aligned towards our goal or taking us away from our goal. So this is going to give us a very holistic view how we are going, how we are leading our life, and what kind of control we want to establish and make our life the way I want to be, the life I want to lead. So this
I think let's open it for Q&A if anyone would just like to discuss, so that I'm already seeing a few questions flowing in the chat. Can we stop the screen share now?
Yeah, sure. So who wants to
are you stopping the screen share, or should I stop?
Already stop.
Okay,
Yeah.
done. Yeah, I'm still seeing the screen. Yeah, first thing, yeah. So Vijay, I had this question. You put the monetary figure for how does it help for housewives who don't have a salary or a figure to put, because for them everything else is a trade-off to zero. So how does it work for them? Meaning, what's the thought process that they should work around with is a question.
Right. So don't think that you have any monetary work. So the work that you do is also having a definitely value. So suppose someone is not doing that work, then we need to hire a maid or hire a kind of person to do that particular job. And moreover, you can quantify much more than that because you are doing it with care, love, and everything. And so you know your worth. It is not a figure which your company is always giving. It is something you feel that you are worthy of. Suppose you feel that I am worthy of 1 lakh rupees per month. You put that amount there. It is not always the figure that your company is giving. It is also true for people who are working. They might be getting 80,000 rupees, but they feel that I am worth of 1 lakh rupees because I have some other earning method. So it is a culmination of everything taken care. I hope.
Interesting. Vijaya, shoot.
I want to counter to this. We know the value. Every housewife knows the her value. But what is the thing now? Family members don't care. First point is there. So many times it happened that what you are doing. Suppose if I am going to purchase a 30,000 rupees phone and I'm getting 1,000 less on Chroma, as said. And if I told that I am purchasing online because it cost only 1,000 more. So what other person can say? Okay, oh, you can go there, you can purchase, you can save 1,000. What you are doing at home?
Yes.
It is the point. So
I
it's
agree.
not, we are not caring for ourselves. It's the what other people are also thinking, because as we are not monetary, बहुत सारे people नहीं है. Monetary fee नहीं है lady.
I agree to it. I acknowledge the point, and I know that most of us have the kind of tendency to think in that terms also. However, who said that we kind of have demo today, right? It is for our self-awareness, so that we align to the action that we are doing. And once this is altogether a separate topic, maybe we can take some other time. It has a very good significance and can really have this question in a very detailed way. We will deal to it. However, for today's session, we have done everything for our own sake. We should be knowing what we are doing and how we should be doing, not with others.
Interesting. Thank you, Vijaya, for that question. And I think it puts in perspective, Vijaya, like with the point which is being mentioned is largely about how we are managing ourselves. The point which you said is completely valid. सामने वाला बोलो तुम वैसे भी घर पे क्या कर क्या रहे हो वैसे भी. I know, I'm completely aware of these things. It's only the approach that we're taking to how are we looking at the opportunity cost. अक्सर हम ये चीज सोचते हैं कि 1,000 रुपए में कम में मिल रहा है तो अगर मैं कर don't assess it just in this one aspect. Look at every dimension. आप जो भी चीज कर रहे हो, alternative क्या है and how is that falling into your circle of life. उसके हिसाब से assess कीजिए. अगर balance करके चलोगे तो आपको opportunity cost दिखेगा और दिखेगा तो आप उस हिसाब से decision ले पाओगे. Sometimes you are willing to pay. I'll tell you an example of the contrary of this. I've given this example in the past also. कई बार ये होता है कि मैं दुकानदार के पास जाता हूँ, उसको मुझे पता है मैं Amazon से ऑर्डर करूंगा तो मुझे 10 रुपए में कम में मिलेगा, लेकिन फिर भी मैं वो दुकानदार के पास जाता हूँ because I can't quantify it, but I value the relationship that I'm building with that person. जो दुकानदार है, मैंने लास्ट टाइम भी कहा था कि कोविड के टाइम पे वही दुकानदार काम आया था. Amazon के 100 डिलीवरी लोग आए, कोई भी मेरे को पूछने नहीं आया. लेकिन वो दुकानदार काम आएगा. So we can't quantify it. Okay, here Vikash's example was about so that you can put something in place to tell you that भाई आप जो ये कर रहे हो उसका कीमत इतना है. For that perspective, don't objectively just look at कि हाउसवाइफ हो तो कीमत क्या है. एंड आधे अगर विकास के लैंग्वेज में गए ना कि अगर कीमत लगाने गए ना तो आधे इंडिया में पति कोई भी अपनी बीवी को रख नहीं सकते क्योंकि उसकी इतनी हैसियत नहीं है कि उतना दे सकता है. तो दैट इज हाउ इट इज, frankly speaking.
I am just saying that case कि ऐसा होता है बहुत बार. I am not objecting.
Completely agree. So the reply is
when I went with my दादाजी ना बहुत साल पहले, तो ऑटो में जाने को बोलते थे. ओ ऑटो में 80 रुपीस लगेगा, we will go by bus. And बस के लिए हम 1 घंटा खड़े देते थे.
Vijay, the same example today. Let me tell you, for me also, this is an idea that we have discussed in Money Matters program. आज की तारीख में मेरे को स्टेशन जाना होता है ना, मेरे घर के बाहर पब्लिक डिपो जो आरटीसी वाली बस आती है ना, वो आती है. मैं अकेला जा रहा हूँ, मेरा सूटकेस साथ में है, मेरे को क्या चाहिए, मेरे को 10 मिनट लेट पहुंचूंगा तो चलेगा, तो मैं उस हिसाब से निकल जाता हूँ. मेरा वही कैब करता हूँ तो 200 रुपए होता है, ये बस में 10 रुपए होते हैं. मैं सोचता हूँ जाते जाते वैसे ही बैठे हैं, कान में डट्टे डालो, म्यूजिक सुनो, एंजॉय करो और जाओ. 190 रुपए बच रहे हैं. For someone who's earning over lakhs, ये 190 रुपए might seem trivial, लेकिन I have that thought process कि 10 मिनट में अगर ये बच रहे हैं तो क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है. So in that sense, it's all about having a mindset. So don't put. We often have this habit. Let me tell you again. When you told about housewife or someone else had other viewpoint, we often have a habit of countering something. The idea behind it is something that I want you to look at. Wonderful ideas there with Bikash talking about the detailing. I saw Preeti in the chat mentioning about again the value of cooking for your family can be got at a fraction of cost. You might be earning, suppose as an example, आप महीने के 5 लाख रुपए कमा रहे हो, but the value of doing that cooking for your family, taking care of that family, the value of that can't be countered with the amount of work that you're doing. So there's that always that tiff going to be there. यहाँ पे वही कह रहा था, ये 10 रुपए बचाने की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं रिश्ते की बात कर रहा हूँ. So look at the thought process behind that. Look at the mindsets which we need to build for the idea which Vikas is sharing. In principle, with regard to the detailing जितना विकास ने किया है, मुझे 1 सेकंड के लिए लग रहा है मैं ये करने में दिन का 1 घंटा वेस्ट करूंगा. But the point is, he has a valid idea. जब तक आपको पता नहीं चलेगा, तब तक आप उसके ऊपर वर्क कैसे करोगे? And when you do that, exactly when you put that time, जब भी आप टाइम नेक्स्ट आधे घंटे के लिए जाना है, आपको पता है, तो दिमाग में आएगा कि भाई मेरे को अगले आधे घंटे में टाइम वेस्ट किया है, अनइम्पोर्टेंट टास्क, अनर्जेंट टास्क किया है करके नहीं डालना है. इसलिए आई माइट गो बैक टू वर्किंग एंड फोकसिंग ऑन द थिंग्स व्हिच आर इंपॉर्टेंट एंड व्हिच आर अर्जेंट. So in that sense, it acts as a two-way system. While you are doing this practice, it actually reinforces you to work on the important things and the urgent things rather than just focusing on the activity in itself. मेरे को अभी लग रहा है, frankly speaking, मुझे लग रहा है कि ये एक्टिविटी करने में मैं दिन का 1 घंटा वेस्ट करूंगा यार, मैं ऑलरेडी मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. But until I know, I won't respect it. I might want to do it for 15 days so that I get a pattern कि मैं कहाँ गलत जा रहा हूँ. वो करूंगा तो शायद उसके बाद 15 दिन बाद मेरे को ये जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, because by then I would have habituated. We are looking at the pattern that you need to focus on कि मुझे 15 दिन में जवाब मिल जाएगा ना. अगर मेरे को मैं इंस्टाग्राम स्टोरीज पे दिन के 2 घंटे निकाल रहा हूँ, तो ऑटोमेटिकली 16वें दिन पे विदाउट डूइंग द शीट, जब भी इंस्टाग्राम स्टोरीज या ये रील्स खोलूंगा ना, दिमाग में घंटी बजेगी. मैं 15 दिन में इतना टाइम वेस्ट किया, मेरे दिन के घंटे के रुपए के हिसाब से मेरा इतना वैल्यू गया है, अभी अगला 1 घंटा करूंगा तो मैं 10,000 देने को तैयार हूं क्या. माइंड में घंटी बजेगी बिकॉज 15 दिन आपने ये एक्टिविटी की. सो देयर इज अ साइंस बिहाइंड इट एंड देयर इज अ रीजनिंग बिहाइंड इट. आप you could have a difference of thought, and that could be logically right. जैसे प्रीति ने कहा है, बहुत सारे MBA ये सब जो बहुत इन सब चीजों में पड़े हुए हैं, उनसे वो चैलेंज भी आती है because they get too quantified and they start limiting the value of these human elements जिनकी कीमत नहीं लगा सकते. So both sides of the picture, you have to always understand the mindset behind why we are doing that thing. So if everything with that becomes the circle of life, इसलिए मैंने जब बोल दिया था, मैं स्टार्टिंग में कन्फेस किया था कि भाई मैं ये कॉन्क्रीटली सब्जेक्टिवली फॉलो नहीं करता हूं, बट आई वर्क ऑन माय awareness. The point, the focus, the spirit behind what Vikas said was about the awareness that you have. आप consciously सोच रहे हो कि आपका कोई pillar weak हो रहा है, आपका कोई एक segment टूट रहा है, आपको वो conscious awareness है, मैं 15 दिन में, 1 महीने में, 2 महीने में, 6 महीने में एक बार सोच रहा हूं या नहीं. That is what the mindset behind that is. The science and how you're doing it is something which can be helpful to some, may not be helpful to some. Some want to try it, some may not want to try it. But look at the mindset. That is what we are discussing in this session today. Might not be about the concrete practices. करोगे तो फायदा मिल सकता है. So I would say try it out. Madhu, your question.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a question, Rahul, but whatever Prabha shared, I had a little connection with that, because this, I mean, I don't know this model and all those things, but in some other way, for a few days, I think around 1 week I have tried. From morning, I think that time I am in morning shift from 4:30, what I'm doing till 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock while I go. I thought of writing at least 15 days, but I end up writing 7 days. But don't believe me, even now, if I want to go to market for Saturday or Wednesday, near to my market, how much it will take right now I can tell. Before that, I don't know. And after that, after 1 week, I realized that, okay, I'm wasting time here. Very simple example. Before that, I'll go to market to a weekly market, and I'll come around 40-45 minutes after. After that, I realized that I'm just only watching and going. Okay, then I'll take it here. I'll take it here. No, I mean the same fellows and same thing, and I just wanted to save the time. At the same time, I just wanted to enjoy the going market and all those things. One example I'm giving, like that. After 1 week, where I'm wasting the time, I realized now I'm not writing it. But even though if I want to go and meet someone, my friend calls me and for have a cup of tea or coffee, I know that okay, it will take around 30 minutes minimum. That means I got within that 1 week, I got some idea which activity is taking how much time. Even phones, sometimes we are talking continuously 1 hour. Childhood friends and all those things. This, without knowing this kind of calculation, at least for a few days, we don't realize it. But it's really very good idea, at least for starters. Or some people say, I don't know how my time is going. For that, at least to write it for 1 week, this is practically happened. And thank you very much, because these all those things without knowing it, I practically done. But it's to be very valuable things to follow, not entire life. But after after 5 days or 10 days or 1 week, you may understand how your time is going.
Exactly. So basically, I'll clear 2 things here, 2 misconceptions that people have. The time that we need to spend to fill this tracker is huge, humongous. No, the tracker, that's what actually I have also realized, and I have made this tracker in such a way that if you have a tracker where actually you just go and click in the drop down list, you have to select one activity. In brief, you can write down what you have done. That is also optional, urgent, important, and efficiency, what you have done. So it might not take more than 1 minute or 2 minutes in every, we need not to do also every half an hour. We can do in every 1 or 2 hours, because our mind can capture that much of data at a time. That is one thing. Second thing, from drop down list, we need to choose. We need not to write also anything. That is also optional. But what is the thing that we are getting to know? The pattern where, in which part of the day I am kind of wasting my time. That is the main thing which we need to capture, unless until we understand, because it is really difficult to understand where we are wasting time. That pattern will tell you where we need to fix. And coming to another question, many of us have asked, like we are kind of very much monetizing everything. So we are the value for other things. Am I audible? No. So we are not ignoring the value of relationship or any other thing. We are actually increasing, enhancing. How? Suppose I know my time value is kind of say 10,000 rupees per hour or 5,000 or whatever. So, and I know how much time I should be, I am kind of wasting in commuting or doing in petty things, kind of negligible things. Those items I can eliminate, save those time and give to my family, right? Because we have already seen the, I have to distribute equally. It is not that I'm just thinking in terms of money, so I need to think only in terms of productive work. No, every dimension of life need to be equally given a focus. So definitely we have to think in that terms. And I have many more things actually, so, which is under development. Suppose we select the drop down, right? Sleep. So suppose I'm selecting for 8 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, different things. So end of the month, we can have a projection, a kind of pie chart, how much time in total I spend in sleep, how much time. So it will give me a pie chart of all the areas that
if anyone would just like to quickly share your feedback for the session, you can do it right away, and we'll close in the next 2 to 3 minutes. I hope that is fine, because I'm sorry, because of the timeline, we'll have an extension of this session soon. Akansha, go ahead.
First of all,
sorry for the incoming.
Okay, so the first thing I wanted to say is how amazing Vikas sir did the work, because the Excel sheets, the work shows, that was some real hard work, I can say. But there was one thing I felt it was a little counter to what my opinion was, is the thing. Now, maybe the Netflix example, if we take, sleep may not always be my way of recreation, because like some people get energy from sleeping. So now I spend the me time, as you might call it, not with my family either, because I'm just telling you from my point of view as a student, not the adult world career point of view, because as a student, for me, the main thing I have to do is study. So I might have a specific time for studying. And then again, if I continue, this is how many marks if I get studying, because I can't monetize studying now. So I'll just put marks for that. If I say for this hours, for this much time, I'll be studying. And then again, if I still think, no, if I'm wasting time here, I might lose marks. But the thing is, if I continuously study, what will I be able to remember? So I think the same works for the adult world too. How much ever you try to, work, monetize your time, and you still have some time for recreation, you might have the guilty consciousness. Your conscious will be like, you're wasting time. That's what will happen.
Akanksha, I would like to differ there. See, when we're saying recreational time, it is one element of it. But apart from that, as you grow adult, as you grow up, you'll realize the time, it need not be called as a recreational activity, but the other sides, which you talk of your health, you talk of your family and friends, you talk of a me time, all those elements are also equally important. And when Bikash is mentioning about the finding more space for yourself, you can accordingly choose after that. We are not saying save space and work more. All we are saying is that find out the spaces where it is not urgent and not important, and make sure you are able to use that time to rebalance in other facets of your life. So we are not saying save and put it more into career and work, put it into studies. We are not saying that at all. Because as right now, for your perspective, your health might not feel that important, in the sense of not about the health focus which I as a 35-year-old or as 50-year-old Umama might have. The definitions and the importance that we will be giving will be different at different age groups. So for you right now, studies could be a large portion, but you're not saying save time from the other things, like don't spend on Netflix half an hour and put it again on studies, We're not saying that at all. So based on your age group, whatever age group here, the people that are, look at how you're able to save time through the analysis that you're making, and use it for rebalancing your life. So you might be having all the time for everything, but if you don't have time for personal growth, how are you upscaling your life? So use that time that you're saving to personal growth. Maybe you watch YouTube, watch knowledge things or development things on YouTube. Attend Speak Up Club. If you're not able to find, please come for growth. Tell that 10% you are here for Saturday 9 p.m. not just for fun, not just for recreation, but also for personal growth. So we are talking of how we are using that. So with that, we call it a day today. It's already 10:35. With a technical session like this, it does take up time, I know, but I believe it's been a good, fruitful session with regard to one underlying thing that I've learned. If you cannot quantify it, you cannot benefit from it. So that's the learning that I've got. Thank you, Vikas, for that wonderful session. And from everyone at Speak Up Club, we are honored and we are thankful that you took up the session today. I was not in a state to run a session. My mind has been blocked as a result of different challenges that I'm facing for the last 1 week. But it's been a good session. Thank you for stepping up and keeping another Saturday night alive for us. Otherwise, it could have been skipped as well. Thank you for that, and loved the wonderful inputs and ideas that you shared. With that, we come to an end for today's session, and let me close it the usual way. Saturday nights have never been this beautiful for the last 86 Saturday nights now. Thank you for the honor that you keep coming back and sharing your perspectives, listening to our perspectives and gaining new perspectives. Thank you for the love that you keep coming back. See you next Saturday, 9 p.m. again. Good night, everyone.